Yo, yo, what's going on, everybody? Back with another watch list. Welcome back to the channel. I am D22, and I am here for you. Let's get right into it. Run over some of today's action. Just finished flipping through scans. Haven't gone through my typical chat logs review yet, but that's probably fairly boring for for the stream. So I will do that once I'm off of here. But still got a few names to go over. Was long a bunch of stuff for swings over the weekend. I had FAAS right here. This one here, pretty simple. Multi-day breakout here through the 1 teens. If we go over here, market open, topped out, opening range break, started to consolidate and hold. I was joining this high day break. Unfortunately, I did lock in right into here, into this initial pop, and missed that swipe that would have really put the icing on the cake with that trade. But nonetheless, it pulled back, consolidated, and I rebought into close using this 1 teens couple dip levels as a guide. Got rewarded with a gap up today. Obviously was not up at 1 a.m. my time. Sideways, consolidated, got a pop into some pre-market resistance into the 170s, 180s, so locked in about a quarter there. Once it started to fail, didn't start to build overview app, those buyers disappeared, size back down to half, and then upon open, when it did not spike, I sold. You can see here the sells were a few minutes after market open because there was a issue with Centerpoint and their routing this morning. Excuse me. I contacted live chat support because I had sell orders in off the open, and I could see the price getting to those levels, and I was not filling. So the plan, I had LVWR overnight. This one here was the same setup. We had a multi-day breakout here through the 460s. A lot of times those weaker closes get longs to sell, shorts come in, and then if you get a gap up, then it's not as crowded and there's not as many people locking into that gap up, so they typically run a bit better. So I was not disappointed in the week close, but I was long here in the 450s. Once we got this pullback, little chop, higher low, and then re-break. I got in a bit early here on the view app reclaim in the 450s and was risking towards the 410s. So nice upticks here going towards 9 a.m. window, going towards open. I was fairly hopeful. I wanted to see it go green and hold green. And once it wasn't green by open, as soon as the market opened, I put in 410 sells. This thing was trading in the 420s and nothing was executing. So I try to move the order down, thinking maybe my data's delayed or there's some sort of error. And it wouldn't let me cancel the order, wouldn't let me modify the order, nothing. So I contacted chat and they said, yep, there was an issue for like the first 3 or 4 minutes of market open. So I couldn't get out, and I caught a nice 20 cents of slippage, which was not fun on the size I was carrying overnight. It was minimized because I had so many names swinging, so it wasn't like a terrible day, but was definitely not fun. IMNN, same thing, multi-day breakout here through the 230s, swung that one overnight. We got this. I didn't play it here. I bought it once we got this hard crack and reclaim. I was buying it here in the 250s with risk on the 2 teens. Did flush out. I can't remember if I added some here or here, but I do know that I was carrying it overnight, got rewarded with another gap up again, and the same kind of thing where I had orders, and this one, the sound, I have audio alerts for when orders fill, And the sound on this order going through was at 9:34, but it executed at 9:30. So this one did not work out. That if I could have sold at 9:34, 9:35, I would have gotten another 10, 15 cents a share. But anyways, just a bunch of swings and sold the gaps, and unfortunately had some platform issues. GRND, I'm continuing to swing. Risk verse like the 20 SMA. If you have it on the daily chart, I don't have it on this chart here that I'm sharing, but it's on one of my other charts. And that's sitting right around 2350s-ish, which is kind of like these past few bar lows. But yeah, just trailing it towards 2350s for now. Looks like it's building really well. Possible scale spot through this breakout level if it starts to build 2470s. But nice little ramp there into close. So we'll see how it opens tomorrow. And I am full size, but maybe want to risk like 2R on something like this because it's a bigger picture idea. Keep risk the same and add to that winner. See how it goes. Hood, this one was a bit frustrating. Breakout chart, farther you look left, lines up with this looking left level here at 66.90. This high was 66.89. This high was 67.10. So right around 67 bucks. So I drew that line right through there. I missed the swipe through it, but I got the pullback to it, risking low a day, set a stop, didn't even have the chart up. I didn't want to be tempted to sell this. As we went over last week, wasn't respecting plans and that sort of thing. So when I'm getting into a big picture idea, something like grind, something like hood, I'm setting a stop so my risk management is taken care of, but I'm not looking at it. I don't want to be just selling for the sake of selling. I want to try and lock in some good risk reward and let the trade work. So I had got some, was about full size, and this was about 1.5R. And then I got stopped out. Basically, dead bottom of the day was under lows. And it ended up coming back. So, right idea, but completely wrong timing. So if I get a flush off the open towards 67s, I don't think we're going to get it. The close here was in the 68s, we're already up about 50 cents. But if I can get a flush off the open towards 67s, I'd get long and use prior day's lows again as risk. But daily chart is still looking really good. And yeah, so I still like that one. MODV. This one did not break out in my time frame where I'm typically gone by about 11. It was breaking out and over this 150s level, which was like this little third day surge here, liquidity trap. And I was watching it, hit price alerts here through the 150s, but it wasn't getting anywhere. So by 11 o'clock, I'm gone. And it was by about 11:15 that it started to perk and hold. But you can see the risk reward potential on these names, where you can get like a 150s entry, risk low a day, scale through this flat top breakout 165, move risk towards 150, really pyramid into that winner. And I doubt I make it to threes if I'm involved in that, but very nice move, and then ended up round tripping by the end of the day. So crazy. Capped, this daily is starting to get a bit ahead of itself. This 130s is this big volume day. You can't see it, my face is in the way. You can see there. Big volume day here. This is the closing VWAP of this day, and then this is some of the candles that rejected from that day in the 160s. So it hasn't had like that explosive. It started to look like it was gonna get that with the candle and range expansion on Friday, but it just didn't continue. It did top out off that 130s. So if this does go red, I think I'm kind of forced to take a trade on it. But it's not like setting up really well by any means just yet. Ideally, this is like the little walk up, and then we start getting some big candles, kind of like Newton, if you remember this one, where you get a couple candles, gap, and then just rips like 100% in a day. And then that makes for a nice little backside trade there. But these little walk up days, nothing to really shout about. So hopefully it starts to speed up, but keeping it on watch. BMGL, this one is hilarious. So daily setup here is a run from 1 to 6, and then a gap up in the 8s. And I leaned on that one on the opening range failed follow through. Sets its lows, pops, rebreaks highs, which like a lot of times if I'm getting entries off the open, I'm stopping out on that high day break. So I let this one break the highs, break lows, and then start to short once it wouldn't reclaim. We got a nice pull towards those mid 6s that just wouldn't stay heavy. We got a bottom, very weak low a day break, a swipe candle, a higher low that's kind of like a knees and toes, like an inverted head and shoulders. And once it breaks this neckline, I am no longer interested in trying to fight that. Was a good cover. Went a hell of a lot higher, about $3 higher from those covers. And then the move I was looking for, and this thing gets smoked all the way down to $3. Now, that would have been real nice to happen when I was in it. But this, the way the cookie crumbles. This seems to be how my trading has been going for the last week or so. Right place, wrong time. Right idea, wrong time. Yeah. Frustrating. Because the risk reward on something like this, 740s, risking about $1 a share to make $4 a share. That's a nice 4 to 1, a little more than 4 to 1. Too bad. Grinding over. SBET, I like this one going into tomorrow for a backside bounce. Dollar volume is very high. 4 million shares on a $50 name, so that definitely meets. We had a move even from this low, from 29 is a quadruple, a 4x move up to the 120s. So even if we're not looking at like a 5-day low from 4, even from here, it's extended itself enough with a 300% move. And now we've got 1.5 red days. This day closes red, and then 1 real red day. I like this little doji indecision candle. Some nice bottoming action, so it like dips versus prior day's lows, which also lines up with this little breakout level. And I think there's plenty of room here back to the upside into the 70s, 80s. So I will watch for some opening range breaks and some follow through momentum. IMNN, that one failed today. All the breakouts failed. FAAS got smoked after I had sold that one. It got absolutely rocked. I did not expect it to come in that much. A lot of times, like, it's gapping 1, 2, 3, 4 days. It's due for a pullback, but I mean, from $2 to sub $1 is insane. LVWR, still technically holding up, but with breakouts failing, I don't typically like to give those multiple tries. BSGM, that walk-up name, continuing higher. NVTS, little backside bounce. Volume's not really coming in. Bunch of bag holders up here. Basically at like 610 and above. Pony. I didn't have many shares on this one. It was just kind of an idea that it looked the way in which it was trading here, where it typically likes to trend all day. It likes to pull and fade or spike and just push all day. And this one, it looked kind of like those China scams that I've traded, where you get that pull and it's kind of like a liquidity hunt and it just slowly fizzles before like a quick rollover. Um, so we got a hard crack, lower high, failed follow through here off 1740s, and I just leaned into it with small size. And if it started to roll over, was gonna just leave it be, but took it off when I was getting ready to head out. Well, yeah, small share trade. It was just breaking this little higher low trend and whatnot. SPY continues not allowed to have any pullback days. Mister, what's going on? Jeff, sorry I saw you guys here right away. I did not mean to be rude, but good to see both of you. Just looking at a couple other names. See if there's anything I'm missing. My dog's like panting at me. Staring at me. She likes to help. If I'm working, she likes to be very close. Core wave holding up really well. That thing looks like it wants higher. INM and Lira, some gappers today that got smoked. I can pull those up. Gap and fade. Little morning spike, and then once it fails to follow through here off of sevens. Lira, not the greatest momentum. The daily candle on this thing is messed up because it did not pull back to 10. Mod V is just gapping down way too much. Like it closed over 2. If I were to get a spike, like a straight up spike into like 230, I'd probably lean that because I know that there'd be a lot of longs holding and hoping into that. So if a straight up spike, I think it's a liquidity that event into it. Oh, excuse me. And longs probably try to exit their bag holds. What else do I got? SGBX, this is why with breakouts, I don't see them as all being created equal, where you could make a case for this early entry through 130s or the breakout through 140s, and it looks good on a shorter time frame or if you're looking at the daily, but the further you look left, resistance, 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 and when you zoom into an intraday chart, you can see most of the range here was in pre-market and not super volatile name. UAVS little runner today. First big volume day. This one was a big time diluter in the past. I haven't kept up on their filing situation. But like if this were to go on a multi-day run, it's probably worth... what else? Hopefully capped goes higher. BMGL, I feel like, given how like the daily candles, this ran from 1 to 9 and already pulled back to 3. I feel like it's put in enough range on its backside to warrant a backside bounce. Like, I don't hate that idea. It'd be a bit tough because, like, a 5-minute high break isn't the cleanest because it did it here and stuffed and then even rebroke highs over here. But I think given the point it was in its daily chart pattern, we're at a different spot. So this would probably be a similar plan to SBET, dips versus prior day's lows and look for a backside bounce, maybe back to 6s before heading back lower. IMCC, look at that thing in pre-market, went to like 18. Like, that's an account breaker. You lose 100% of your money. It's crazy. Was I watching Kids? No, I was not. What did that one do? Little bounce. The reason I was not watching Kids is because of how far it is on the backside. So like typically when I'm looking at those backside bounces, it's like an elastic move where it's like a short cover and discount buyers, and they all kind of have a shift in the pendulum where you get the big front side move, longs are in control, and then it shifts as shorts are in control, those longs are taking profits, and then sell side comes in, and now it fades. Sellers are in control, and then shorts need to cover, and then longs come back in because now it's at a discount from where it was, and then that pendulum shifts. But if you were to like have a string with a ball on it, and you picked it up and then let it go, and it swings each time it goes up and comes back, the swing is smaller and smaller and smaller until it stops. And I think that's what happens, at least like for me, how I visualize it, is each time this tries to bounce, it just gets harder and harder and harder because you're just adding more supply, more resistance of longs trying to bounce this each time. Like you're already on the backside and you're already fighting bag holders from the initial run, let alone everyone trying to buy this dip that never bounces. The dip keeps dipping. So I think the bounces get harder and harder. Yeah, in my opinion. So something like SBET, like it could bounce tomorrow and then it could fade off the rest of the week, but I'm not going to be looking for another bounce next week or later in the week. It's just the bounce has come, that's a predictable move, and then I expect it to trade its course. So, in terms of watches tomorrow, a few like contingent ideas would be like Mod V. If I can get a straight up spike into those low 2s, I would lean on that. Hood, if I can get a weak open washout, I would get involved in that one long. Capped, if this starts to speed up on the daily, I like it for a short. Just let it, I'm just going to kind of let it do its thing. The daily's not there for a trade yet. If it fails tomorrow, so be it. BMGL, possible backside bounce. SBET, possible backside bounce. Grind, see if this starts to break and build 2480s, 25. Get like a multi-day move like this would be nice. Prior days lows, holds, get stopped out right there on a prior day low risk. It's like if you're playing this little break, call it a 19 for a whole dollar move. You're long right here on this day, risking low a day, and then you risk prior days lows, and you get stopped out 21. Make about $2 or so. This one's just screaming 30 to me. I think it wants 30. It's held up well enough. It has earnings now. So we will see. What else do I have? That's probably about it. SBET and BMGL will be my main two watches. And then Mod V has a back burner if it happens, if my plan comes to fruition. And then Hood and Grind, some big picture daily ideas. And that's what I got. Great explanation. I'm glad it was good. that's what I got for today. I don't think any need to beat a dead horse, as they say. I got a very nice message from Mr. this morning. And I was not allowed to miss another live stream today. Not want to disappoint. How do you feel about where we are in the overall market cycle? I think so. I was buying a ton long term. I think I had like a 525 average on SPY by the time all was said and done in that longer term account. Um, it felt like fear to me. We had like some tariff scares back in 2018 right here. And it was just panic and then V-shaped recovery. Gravity with large caps is always to the upside due to inflation. So it just naturally, prices go higher, companies' earnings grow, and then that inflates the SPY price. Do I think it's healthy the way in which it happened, that it's basically every day is up? Not really. But that's what's happening. So in terms of the overall markets, I don't think it's super healthy, but I do think that this was just fear. So being back trading at these prices, I don't think is super shocking. In terms of the small cap cycle, I haven't traded crypto names very well ever in my career. I'm red on them easily. And that's been, I don't know if they're just choppier by nature. Maybe it's because they're tied to Bitcoin, so you get overnight moves. I'm not sure, but I find them harder to trade. I don't find them as clean. And in small caps right now, that's been the PR that's been getting small caps running, is adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet and other cryptocurrencies. Started off with CEP. You had KIDS, you had ASST, you had any number of tickers. If you go back and watch these live streams, I've mentioned them in other ones. So personally, I haven't traded those names well. We've had a ton of multi-day runners. Last month, I don't think gappers were quite as fruitful. Maybe towards the latter end of the month, the last week or two, they started to fail like they should. But in the beginning of last month, they were holding up. They'd pull back for short periods of time, and then you get some more multi-day runs, which is typically what I like to see. Breakouts and daily chart structures, and we've been getting that in stuff like Pony. It's not like a one and done move. NVTS, not a one and done move. FAAS had multiple lives. LVWR, IMNN, SBET. What else? BMGL was a 2-day move. Mod V, a 3-day structure. So we're getting some nice multi-day moves. And yeah, if I'm avoiding the crypto PRs, then I'm doing okay. But in terms of those ones, not so well. Like even BMGL, this one had like a Bitcoin treasury news. And what is typically like SIDA too. This one here, you get this big front side move, and what is typically an exhaustion gap, dips get soaked and squeeze everybody out, just for it to get smoked down like 30-40% by market open the next day. So you get squeezed, and then you don't get a chance to short it. And then BMGL, if you're shorting anywhere near market open, which statistically is a great entry, comes all the way back before completely retracing its move. And these are crypto related small caps. So I don't think they're super clean, and the names that aren't related to crypto have been easier for me to trade. Thanks for pointing out those multi-day moves. No catalyst known for Mod V, so I didn't trade it. I should have. Yeah, I liked Mod V. I'm not always looking for a catalyst as long as a stock has volume and range. It's proven to run 2 days ago, no overhead resistance. If you look at this move on this day, it likes to trend, consolidate, re-break out. It's got like that ABCD constructive structure. So I expect something similar to that to happen if it runs again. So even though it didn't have a catalyst, I think volume and price action itself is the catalyst. That's not really a requirement for me. So, but nice move nonetheless. Alrighty, guys, I will wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's my watch list for this evening. Some of you and you, I will see you there tomorrow. And the rest of you, I will see you on the next watch list. Take it easy, guys. Peace.